Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? On this video, I'm gonna do a couple of different things than what I usually do. This time, I'm gonna use a TV settings that I got from one of my subscribers. I will name his name. I'll give him a shout out. His name is Ron John, and he gave me his TV settings for The Last of Us. And what I'm gonna do in next 15 minutes or 20 minutes on this video, I'm going to compare his TV settings, his preference TV settings with Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us. I just want to see if both of these games can utilize from his recommendation. Look, all of you guys can send in your own recommendations. I will do a test on them and I will compare them to mine. I will see in first 5 minutes how his TV settings look on my TV, and then I'm gonna try to compare it to my preference TV settings. And if I like his TV settings, I'll keep it. But I'll try to compare them between his and mine. So anyway, this is a shout out to Ron John. You all can send your own preference TV settings if you have this TV, and I'll try to experiment. All right, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and let's start this. All right, so these are his settings. He's running it on game mode. Okay, it's on game mode. I'm also running it on game mode. All right, that's the first step. Leave it on game mode. Then the second step is expert settings. He left his backlit on 20. That's fine. I have it on 20 as well. His brightness, it's at 39. Mine is at 40. So that's pretty close. Let's keep it at 39. The contrast is 94. Mine's is 100. So his is way up down there a little bit by 4. Keep it at 94. Sharpness is at 49. Mine is at 30. So let's keep it up to 49. See how that looks. And then the color, it's at 73. Wow, his color is way out. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know if this is really necessary. Do you really need this much color? I mean, it does pops out, don't get me wrong, but again, remember, this is his settings. And then he has a gamma at -1. So let's go to the gamma. -1. Hold on. I think I missed it. Let's go to the gamma right here. Gamma is going to be -1. So his gamma is at -1. So let me see. Let me look and see how this looks. Let me just kind of walk through the game a little bit. Actually, it looks quite nice. This is not that bad, Ron John. Looks quite nice. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention his color tone. It's his color temperature, excuse me, it's standard. He's using a standard color temperature. I might have gone in with warm too, but this is his preference, okay? I'm actually digging this. This is nice. This is really nice. It truly, the colors pop out, like especially right here. On these leaves, these green leaves, the colors truly pop out. So that's pretty cool. Especially right here, the reds. Hey, Ron John, this is pretty good, man. I'm gonna keep these settings. I really like it. The game really pops out, especially for this game. Everything's more vivid and colorful, and that's what you want in high dynamic range. You do want that depth of field, and you do want the picture to pop out. Obviously, you guys cannot see it with this 720p recording that I'm doing. You will just have to take my word for it. All right, let's push this here. I'm really digging his settings. It's pretty good. Now, I might have gone with sharpness all the way to the 0, but that's just me.
I need my gear.
All right, go grab your gear. Go grab your gear, man. But I'm very impressed. This is a good work, Ron, John. And look, all of you guys can go ahead and send me your preference TV settings for a certain game. Uh, he was testing it on The Last of Us. I'm testing it on both Uncharted and The Last of Us. So in about 2-3 minutes, I'm gonna switch to The Last of Us. I just want to explore this a little bit more.
Bingo. None of my business.
All right, so let's do this really quick. Let's just all right. So there we go. That's it. Done. I like it, man. This is great. It looks really good. Not bad. I mean, not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see here. Can I do a picture mode? Where is a photo mode? I like to use a photo mode because I think photo mode is a perfect way for you to explore the picture settings in HDR. Okay, so this was his settings. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reset the picture and I'm gonna use my settings. Okay, so remember, these are his settings. Let me show it to you again in case you guys want to know. This is Ron John's recommended settings right here. Let me show it to you. All right, remember, backlit 20, brightness 39. This is all of it that I have written down from the comment that he wrote me down, all of this detail. So backlit 20, brightness 39, contrast 94, sharpness 49, color 73. You guys can pause the video and write this down. And of course, I'm referring this to people who have KS 8000 series. And then color tone standard. Okay, so what's gonna happen next is I'm gonna use my settings. I'm gonna keep a picture like this, and in about 4 seconds, I'm gonna go ahead and use my preference settings for this game, and then you guys can compare the two. All right, so in about 4 seconds, you will see my own preference settings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are my preference TV settings that I used. And I'm showing the difference between his and mine. So let me go over here. Let's go to the picture settings. I'm using a game mode. That's what you're supposed to do on this TV if you're going to be playing a video game console. If you're going to be using a console and playing video games, you want to make sure you use the game mode because HDR is going to detect it one way or the other. All you have to do is turn the UHD color on, which I'm pretty sure most of you know this already, for those of you who have this TV. So anyway, let me walk you through my settings versus Ron, John settings. All right, his backlit was 20. Mine is 18. It's about a couple of percentages down. His brightness was 39 all the way up. Mine is 33. His contrast was 94. Mine is all the way up. And I'll explain why mine is all the way up. His sharpness was way high, 49, which was good. I didn't mind it. Mine is 20. His color was 73, way up, which was okay, I guess, but I just felt like it was a little bit too much of a color, you know. Mine is 60. And here's what I wanted to talk about, why my contrast was 100. Here's why, because I left my dynamic contrast at medium, and I'm using a warm color too, and that's why I have my contrast go a little bit higher. And I also have my backlight right here. to 18, so that way it's not going to be too bright in my face, you know. So let's see how it looks. Let's see it. I mean, I think with mine, you see a little bit better. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's just, to me, it looks more natural like. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it like this, and I'm going to use his settings. And in about 4 seconds, we're going to compare his settings to my settings. Okay? In about 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm back to Ron John's TV settings for The Last of Us. Obviously, this is Uncharted 4, but I'm testing it on both games, Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us, which I will do in a minute. So here, let me show you. This is his settings right here. Just so you know that I'm not lying. This backlit 20, brightness 39, contrast 94, sharpness 49, color 73. The only couple of things, Ron, if you're watching this video, which I'm pretty sure you are watching because this is about you a little bit, I would say the sharpness, to me, it's a little bit too much, you know. Like, I don't think you want the sharpness all the way to the 49, especially when you got a big giant TV like 65-inch. You don't want the picture to be that sharp. Then you'll see the jagged edges, you'll see all this other stuff, the filters popping out, you know, like you'll see that grain, like snow effect grain from different types of filter there inside the game. So I wouldn't put sharpness all the way to 49. Same thing with the color. I think the color is way too much, because you already have high dynamic range, you already have 1000 nits, you already got quantum dot color technology built into this TV. It's emitting that color light. So I think 73 is kind of an overkill. That's too much of a color. That's just my opinion, you know. Okay, so here, let me go ahead and switch back to the one that I did, you know. And another thing I want to say, Ron, about your TV settings is standard color temperature is okay, but I just felt for this game, warm 2, because it's set in tropics, especially most levels are kind of in the tropics here in this game, and I just felt that the warm 2s, it suits this game a little bit better. But anyway, let me go ahead and switch back to my TV settings in about 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're back to my TV settings, and I think clearly here you can see a little bit of a difference. This is where dynamic contrast that you want to use on my presets, it's because I already have backlit down a bit, and I already have warm color 2 applied to it, so you can definitely use a little bit of that dynamic contrast, because you want to make sure that the darks are dark, like the deep levels are dark, like that's what you're seeing right here. Same thing right here. Even here in the crack of the stone, you see the deep levels of the blacks. And here, I'm recording this in 720p, and still you can see a little bit here. And then color, I left it at 60 because I felt you don't have to put that too much color, you know, because you already have a HDR running, high dynamic range, 1000 nits running on this particular game, and you already have that quantum dot color popping out, emitting that light. So you don't need that much of a color. It's kind of like an overkill, honestly. So I really, but look, I'm not saying that your TV settings are not good. I'm just saying they're good. I like them, but I just felt that the color was off a little bit, and that the sharpness, like color and sharpness, those are the two things I would have like adjust. And then the color tone, I would keep it to warm 2 for this particular game. But overall, your TV settings are not bad, man. I mean, I like them. I would just kind of 3 things I need to point out. The color, I would bring it down a little bit to 60. Contrast, you could keep it at 100. Brightness, I would keep it at 33. And the backlit, I would keep it at 18. And then gamma, honestly, Ron John, you don't need to move that gamma down to -1. All you're gonna do is dim the picture because you already have HDR running, man. Gamma, it's only good for, you know, programming that doesn't support HDR. But you already have HDR running on this game. There's no reason for you to use that gamma. That's overkill. You know, that's like unnecessary. It's like beating a dead horse, if you will. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to The Last of Us, and then I'm gonna use Ron John settings on The Last of Us, and then compare it to mine. Okay. All right, so we're back at The Last of Us. Now, these are the TV settings that I'm using right now. And I'm going to compare my TV settings compared to his TV settings. Remember, the HDR, it's already running on this game. So when it comes to the color, you don't want to use too much of a color because you already have that high dynamic range being implemented into the game. All right. Hold on. Let me finish this guy. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it like this, and I'm going to go ahead and use his TV settings, all right? Let me just show you really quick what mines are really here. Really quick. All right, these are my TV settings right here. Okay, it's the same thing. Backlit, it's 18. Brightness, 33. Contrast, 100. Sharpness, 20. And the color, 60. The reason I moved down the color to 60 because, okay, I already have HDR running. I already got that wide color gamut, 1000 nits. There's no reason for me to overbleed the color. Then it's gonna look unnatural. You know what I mean? Dynamic contrast, I keep it at high. The reason being here, I'll point out why I keep it at high. Okay. Okay. Keep a look at this. Okay, here, let me give you an example as to why I need dynamic contrast high. Okay, here's a good example. Like, keep the look at the sun overshadowing here, and then look at it here. It looks natural, right? Well, look what happens when I turn off the dynamic contrast in about 2 seconds. 1, 2. Look at that. Everything looks dimmed. Now you don't want that. You don't want stuff to be dimmed like that. What you want is it to be look natural. That's why I keep it at high. But dynamic contrast only works well if you know how to regulate your brightness and your contrast and your tone color, your temperature color. You know, this is natural. This, it's unnatural. This is like somebody dimmed down the TV. You don't want that. You want to keep it like this. Okay, so that's why I keep it at high. And then warm 2. You want to use the warm 2 color for this particular game. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and use his settings. And then we're going to see the difference, okay? So in about 4 seconds, I'm going to go switch back to his TV settings, which is Ron John. I'm only using Ron John because he sent me these TV settings. You guys are all welcome to send me your TV settings, and I'll give you a shout out. I'll try out your TV settings, and I'll try to compare them and experiment them, and who knows, maybe we can find a good G spot for some of these games, you know. Okay, so let me go ahead and use Ron John's TV settings in about 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so these are the Ron John TV settings. And see right here, it looks kind of unnatural. See that standard color? It looks purplish. Looks like a purple. Doesn't look that natural. This is why I recommended using the warm 2 color on this particular game. And this is why I recommend not keeping the color to 73, because you already have a tone that's incorrect for this game, and then on top of that, you bleeding all these incorrect colors with 73, with a, you know, with a natural temperature, standard temperature. And these are his TV settings, which are the same. Let me show you. Okay. All right. Okay. Backlit, he left it at 20. I would have moved it down. I would have moved it down by a couple of percent. Brightness, he has a 39, which is way too bright. Contrast, it's 94, which is okay. but I would keep it at 100. And sharpness, see, this is where I just feel like you don't need this. You don't need sharpness to be 49, and you don't need color to be 73, because you already have tone of color at standard, and just makes it looks more purple, makes it look kind of unnatural. So look, here's the thing, Ron John. It's a good TV settings that you have, but I would work on sharpness and color, and temperature. I would keep it at warm too. So my advice to you is get the sharpness to 20, get the color to 60, and get the temperature to warm too. Now I'm gonna go ahead and in about 4 seconds I'm gonna use my TV settings, and you will see a drastic difference here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we're back at my TV settings, and clearly here you'll see that the color here is more natural. Like the red, it's red here, overshadowing from the sunlight, and the vibrant orange from the sunset, it's overshadowing here the way it should be overshadowing, and it just looks better. And let me show you what I did here. Okay, this is what I basically did. Of course, we were running it on a game mode, which you should, to get the advantage of 20 milliseconds response time on your input lag on your TV. So backlit, I left it at 18. His was 20. Brightness, I left it at 33. His was 39. Contrast, his was down to 94. Mine is 100. Sharpness, his sharpness, this is the one where I criticized Ron John a little bit. Your sharpness is way too high, man. I keep mine at 20 or at 0, possibly. On this game, I felt like 20 is okay. I don't need to keep it all the way to the 0, because if I keep it at 0, it's going to be too, what's the word I'm trying to use? If I leave it at 0, it's just going to be too flat, too blurry and flat. I don't want to keep it that way. So sharpness at 20 here, it's fine. Color, I keep it at 60. So a couple of things here, Ron John. Your sharpness was way too high, and you don't need to keep it that high for this game. And then color was way too high, 73. You don't need it to be 73. 60 is fine. Even 55 would have been nice, but 60s is a good balance, because you already have high dynamic range running. You already got that quantum dot color popping out, so you really don't need to mess with the color that much. So those are the two things. And color tone, I keep it at warm too. When you keep it at natural, which is right here, at standard, I mean, it becomes more purple. See, everything's like purplish, and I don't like that. I don't like that unnatural color for this game. Everything looks like, I don't know, like flamboyant, you know what I mean? Ugh. Warm too, it's more natural color for this particular game. I'm not saying that you cannot use standard. There are certain games that will, benefit from the standard and cool. But for this particular game, you want to keep it at warm too. That's where it should be. Like I said, your TV settings are not bad. I like them. But like I said, I would just work on the sharpness, color, and color tone. And yes, you can use dynamic contrast to high on this particular game. So this is how I feel. This is my preference. If you like yours, you can use it. But I just feel with this one, I get more natural color to it. And that's what you want, man. You want the natural color. That's the whole idea. And especially for this game, remember what we're doing here. We're trying to find a good balance between the standard, standard color, default color that comes with the television set, and then we trying to go ahead and find a good balance for this particular game. There is no a there's something I want to say before I end this video. I just want to say that there is no holy grail ultimate calibration TV settings for a TV. You're always going to be calibrating your TV for a certain game, for a certain program. You're always going to be calibrating because every content is different. This game, it's different from, let's say, at Battlefield 1. This game is different than, let's say, Watch Dogs 2. So you're always going to have to tweak these things out. Same thing with movies. You know, when I was watching Dracula, Bram Stoker Dracula the other day, and I noticed that he used a lot of filters, a lot of different colors, you know, Francis Ford Coppola. And I just felt like the movie was too dark, so I really had to balance my brightness on that film. You know, I have to calibrate that movie just for that movie so I can enjoy the way Francis Ford Coppola in 1990, when he filmed that. It was it's about 20 years old movie, man. It's a very old movie, but it's a really good classic, you know, story, legend story about Vlad Tepes, the prince, you know, that fought the Turkish Ottoman Empire, and, you know, all this other rumors about him. You know, he was impaling, you know, Turkish soldiers and drinking their blood or whatever. Okay, so you guys get the idea, all right? It's a Dracula. But anyway, I'm not going to give you a history lesson here. So the bottom line is, you're never going to find a perfect TV settings. This is why I do this, man. This is why I even started this channel, because I felt like we can together work on this. You guys can give me your TV settings, and I'll take it in consideration. You see, I'm not some stuck-up guy that only thinks that my shit is the best shit. No, I mean, I like what Ron John is doing here. It's pretty good. It's not bad, but I just criticized him a little bit on the color and sharpness. I just felt like you don't need that much sharpness, especially in a big 65-inch TV, and especially since you're running a game on HDR, you know. You see how natural, like this metal plated house here is, or whatever this you know, place is, this industrial place, whatever, and everything looks more natural like, and that's what you want. Especially right here is a good example of natural color popping out. So there you have it, guys. I don't know what else I can say except that, as I mentioned earlier, keep sending me those TV settings. I would like to try them out. I would like to see what you guys are running your TVs and games on. You know, I would like to see everyone's, because I might find something that I see in your TV settings, and I can kind of give it my ingredients and make it even better. You know what I mean? So I just feel that
Take care of that wound.
I feel that you guys together should
Should have brought more people.
give me some of your TV settings, write them down in the comment section, and I'll write them down on the paper, and then I'm gonna give you a shout out. I'm gonna utilize your TV settings and compare it to my TV settings, and then from there on I can go ahead and make something out of it and put my ingredients on top of your ingredients, and then maybe we can find that specific G spot, if you will, for certain games, because every game is different. Okay, I think we find a good G spot here for this game. So let me give you the rundown of what I have implemented from Ron John TV settings to my settings. Let me give you my TV settings before I end this video. Write it down, try them out, or you can try his and mine, pause the video, write them down, experiment with it, and see how it works. But let me give you mine really quick here before I end the video. Alright, so keep in mind, we're running it on a game mode. You shouldn't be running this on anything other than a game mode, because you are using a console. You want that response time to be 20 milliseconds. Okay, so that's what you want for a game. Alright, so then you go to your expert settings. Alright. Backlit, I keep it at 18. Brightness, I keep it at 33. Contrast, I keep it at 100. Sharpness, I keep it at 20. Color, I keep it at 60. You can keep it at 55 if you like, but I believe 60, it's a good thin line between the color gamut and the quantum dot color that's emitting that light. I think that's perfect. Tint, I never mess with the tint. You don't want to mess with that. Smart LEDs, I keep it at high. And of course, you all know you gotta have UHD color on in order for you to be able to play HDR game. Contrast, I keep it at high. The reason being because if you don't, then your dark levels lines become dimmed down and they become kind of washed out because you are already using a backlit down to 18 and you already have a color tone to warm 2, so dynamic contrast here, it's perfect. And yes, the color tone, I keep it at warm 2. And that's the end result right there. That's what you get. And honestly, I think it looks great. I think it looks great here. It looks natural, and that's what you want. Remember, I'm trying to get the best possible picture from HDR. All right, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do here. All right, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and like I said, give me your own personal TV settings for this game or for any other game that you maybe want me to test. Maybe you have Final Fantasy 15 running on your own personal. I'm curious to see what type of TV settings are you guys running these different variety of games like NBA 2K17, FIFA 17, The Last Guardian, Dead Rising 4. I would like to see you guys what type of TV settings are you running your games on, and then I'll look at them, I'll write them down, I'll compare it to mine, and who knows, maybe I can cook something out of it and make it even better. Alright, so if you guys didn't like this video, you can hit that dislike, or if you like the video, you can hit the like. It's that simple. No pressure. Alright guys, later. Have a good one. As far as the Last Guardian and Dead Rising 4, I'll most likely do those 2 videos on Friday and Saturday because I'll be busy tomorrow. I don't think I'll have time Thursday to do anything. I might be able to answer a few comments, but Friday I'll be able to do Dead Rising 4 and The Last Guardian, especially The Last Guardian because it's running it's very nice resolution, and it's not 4K native, but it's a nice high resolution that's being upscaled to 4K, which I'll talk about that when I do the video. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one. Bye.